don't be deceived. That water may look blue and inviting, and it's certainly a sunny day, but that water is cold. I'm at Tooting Lido in South London, not far from my home. I've been a member of the South London Swimmers Club for, since September 2019, whatever that is. But for the first few months, I didn't come very often. And then I decided, after much encouragement, some would say harassment from some very dear friends of mine, come on Simon, you should try cold water swimming, it's really great, get in the habit, you'll love it, it's really good for handling stress and sense of well-being, and you just feel fantastic when you come out. And for months I just thought, oh, shut up, you're mad. What, 7 degrees, 6 degrees, 5 degrees, that's freezing. Totally mad. After all, what's a warm indoor heated swimming pool is what, 28 degrees temperature at your average pool? So you can imagine what it's like getting into water that's about 6 or 7 degrees. I think today it is 7 degrees. Anyway, I made the decision eventually in early January to take it up and to come more regularly. And I've got to tell you, it was a huge mistake because it turns out that early January is not the most obvious time to take up cold water swimming, because the water is Baltic, and it was excruciating. That first time I went in that pool, gosh, I can remember I was in there, I scarcely made it to do a width. I had goggles, and that was, trunks as well, that's important. So goggles and trunks, that was it. No cap, no earplugs. Turns out, earplugs really important when you're swimming in cold water, otherwise you get the most awful headache. Anyway, I had none of the right equipment, but I just about managed a width, I should say. This is a big pool. I mean, it's the biggest pool in the UK. It's 90 metres long, and it's 25 metres wide. So I suppose you could say, well, a width isn't that embarrassing, but there were people, including, I have to say, some older people who were just ploughing up and down doing lengths. I thought, how do they do this? It's extraordinary. Well, of course, for them it was a habit. They had built immunity to the cold, and it feels to me as though right now we're at a time where the development of new habits is important in all our lives, whether it's how we're handling working from home, or maybe it's changing the way in which we engage with customers, colleagues, friends of ours, perhaps family members. There's all sorts of changes. Here's the point where I'm coming to. When I first started the cold water swimming moderately seriously in early January, I thought, God, no, this is so awful. If only I'd started back in the summer, which is what they say you should do. Start in the summer and then work through the autumn, and gradually, bit by bit, your body gets used to the water as it slowly gets colder and colder, rather than coming in bang at 4.5 degrees as I did. But of course, as they say, the best time to take up a new habit is maybe 5 years ago or a year ago, or in my case, maybe it was back in July. The second best time is now. And that was in my head. I thought, right, I'm going to stick with this. And why did I stick with it? Well, more than anything, it was because I was accountable. I'd agreed with some friends of mine, the very dear friends, who encouraged me to take this savage habit up, to compete with them in a relay team, in a friendly gala up in North London at Parliament Hill Lido. And I thought, right, I can't afford to let them down, because as it was, I couldn't do 50 metres. And I thought, I'm not going to let the team down. So I thought, I've got to stick at it, at least to be able to join them in the team, in the relay team for the gala, which I did. And I'm so glad that I did, because it was an amazing experience. And where are we now? We're now into mid-March, and I'm still going with the cold water swimming. I have to say, it has been one of the best decisions I've taken in a long time, alongside piano, in terms of stuff outside of work. Cold water swimming, I really have noticed the benefits, the impact of it. But it was brutal at first. And I offer this in a way as words of reassurance that if you are making a change in any aspect of your life right now, which I expect is likely, if at first it feels there might be a bit of initial novelty. I mean, I tell you, when I first walked in here in January, I thought, oh, this is exciting, I'm going to go cold water swimming. Then I got in the water and I thought, oh, this isn't funny. Now, it may well be that there are things that will happen in the short term that you think, this is not easy, this is difficult when it comes to changing habits. But if you stick with it and commit to yourself, maybe find a way to hold yourself accountable to other people, I promise you it will get easier, it gets better, and it certainly gets rewarding. Because now, I absolutely love this thing. It's a fantastic activity. It's short, it's intense, it's vibrant, it's refreshing. I hope this swimming pool will stay open for a little while longer. Who knows what's going to happen over the coming days and weeks. But with that in mind, I'm going to get sorted, get my kit, including earplugs, and get in that pool. I'm hoping to manage a couple of lengths. Thinking of you, wishing you well at this time. Speak well and speak soon.